Hi everyone, I'm David from David O Yoga, and welcome to Yoga for Core Strength. So building a strong core is the most important thing that we can do to prevent injury and to help alleviate pain in the low back and in the hips, and to make our practice feel light, floaty, and fun. But what do we mean exactly when we say core strength, right? Because many core training programs overly focus on the abs or the rectus abdominis, our six-pack muscles. But when we're talking about overall functional strength and stability, it's the transverse abdominis, the TVA, that matters most. Now, the TVA is the deepest of all the ab muscles. It wraps around the waist horizontally, underneath the rectus abdominis and underneath the obliques, and it wraps all the way around the back, attaching to the back of the hips. The TVA is the most important stabilizing muscle in the entire body. And it acts like one of those big weight belts that you see bodybuilders use in gyms. And the reason why they wear those belts is because it supports and stabilizes the structural integrity of the body, right? And so the TVA muscle does the same thing for us naturally. It draws everything in, and it supports and stabilizes. It keeps everything in its most efficient and effective place. When the TVA is weak, we feel clunky and heavy on our mat. And the hips and the low back, not happy, because they're having to do all this extra work that the TVA is supposed to be doing, but it's not showing up. When the TVA is strong, we float from the back to the front of the mat. Right? We feel light and strong, and the hips and low back, they're good because they're not doing all this extra work. So let's dive in to the mystery of the TVA, and we'll learn some fantastic exercises that will help you build the strongest core you've ever had. All right? Let's do it. All right, let's start off on our back. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So, soles of feet together. Take your knees wide. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Close your eyes. And we'll just spend a few moments grounding. Bring a gentle awareness to your breath. And on each exhale, let tension, stress, anything that feels rigid, let it dissolve with your breath. So it's important in the beginning of our practice to transition from the everyday, ordinary routine into more grounded, open-hearted, curious space. And continue to breathe and relax. And your next inhale, draw both knees into your chest. And take a gentle rock side to side. And this rocking motion helps to relax the central nervous system. Lets us know we're safe, we're good. And now take both feet up to the sky, happy baby. Press the heels gently up as you draw the shoulders, the sacrum, and the knees downward. I always wiggle my toes in happy baby. You want to feel your whole spine grounded, making contact from your head, neck, shoulders, all the way down to the sacrum. And again, you can take a little rock side to side here. Just feeling awake, alive, present in the moment. And as you exhale, release both feet down to the mat. And let's take Figure 4, right ankle to left thigh, flex the right foot, and draw the left knee gently in. You can interlace hands behind the left hamstring or perhaps in front of the right shin. And let your hips, your low back, your shoulders ground down evenly to the mat. And keep coming back to your breath. Each time we find a new shape, we come back to the breath. Big breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Let's take it to the other side. Left ankle, right thigh. Flex the left foot and draw the right knee in. You can gently press the left knee away as you deepen the pose. Breathe space into your left hip, into your low back. Big breath in. Exhale, draw both knees into your chest and begin to rock and roll gently up and down, forward and back, rocking up to a nice, easy, cross-legged seat. Let's work to expand our breath, wake up the breath. Big breath in, palms to heart center. Interlace the hands, flex round as we exhale. Inhale, take the hands up to the sky. Open mouth, exhale, cactus the arms. Again, inhale, palms meet. Interlace, round and flex, exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms alongside the ears. This time, stick the tongue out, Kali breath. Hands and feet come down to the mat. Press and lift your hips. Let your head drop all the way back. And again, a Kali breath. Slowly lower your butt all the way down and sweep the legs around behind you. Coming into tabletop. Just move through a few cat-cows as we inhale, heart forward, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round and flex, draw the navel in. Again, inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round and flex, pushing through the mat into earth. And come back to tabletop. Inhale, take the right fingertips long, left toes back. Engage the low belly, draw the navel in, and as we exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach. So now we are crunching here, so we're working the ab muscles. Exhale, the rectus abdominis, but in a moment, we're gonna work into the TVA. Elbow to knee, one more big breath, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. And now, take the arm and the leg straight out to the side. Draw the navel in and up. Tighten that imaginary belt around the midsection. That's the TVA, stabilizing and holding everything up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend one more time. Exhale, hand and knee come down. Nice job. Other side. Inhale, left fingers, right toes. And exhale, elbow to knee. Big breath, reach. Elbow to knee, crunch it in. Inhale. Biggest reach, biggest breath. Elbow to knee. And now press, navel in and up. Lift the hips, arm and leg off to the side. Long straight line, fingertips to toes. Again, cinch that imaginary belt tighter. Elbow to knee. Inhale, reach and extend. And hands, knees come down. Nice work. Curl the toes, lift the hips, and push back. Downward dog. Let's take a few moments here and settle into our downward dog. So you can pedal the feet. Bend one knee, draw opposite heel down to earth. Breathe along the back lines of the legs. And coming to stillness. Feet together. Inhale, take the right heel up to the sky. Big breath. Exhale, knee to nose and pause. Crunch it in. Inhale, take the knee high or the heel high. Bend the knee, stack the hips open. And keeping the knee and the hips open, right knee to the top of the right tricep. When you make contact, lift the knee another 1/4 inch up. Yes, push into the mat. Then step slowly back into plank pose. So plank again, cinch up that imaginary belt around the waist, feel the TVA activate, keeping that strong plank shape. Come down to the forearms and the elbows for forearm plank. So forearm plank and plank, really fantastic exercises to work, engage, and familiarize ourselves with the TVA. Keep drawing the navel in. Big breath in, push back up to plank pose, and then lift the hips, push back, downward dog. Nice job. Feet together. Inhale, take the left heel up, up, up. Exhale, knee to nose, and pause, shifting forward. Hold for a moment. Inhale, take the heel back up. Bend the knee and stack the hips open. Keeping the hips open, left knee to the top of the left tricep, shifting forward, making contact. Take the knee up another 1/4 inch, and then press like mad into the mat. Dome the upper back, navel in. Step carefully with control back to plank pose. Cinch up that imaginary belt, and then come to forearm plank. So the imaginary belt starts with the navel drawing in, but then with your mind, the whole circumference of the waist, draw it in. Keep breathing, don't stop breathing. Big breath in, press up, plank pose. Now lift the tailbone, push back, downward dog. Beautiful job. Feet together. Inhale, take the right heel high. Exhale, knee to nose once more. Pause, and then step it through. Rise up, crescent lunge, hands to the sky. Engage through the back leg. So left thigh hugging muscle to bone. Big breath. Lift, open mouth, exhale. Ha, cactus the arms. Reach tall. And as you exhale, float forward into warrior 3. So arms, torso, lifted leg in a straight line. Hips are level here. Wing the arms back, interlace the hands behind the low back. Lift your heart. And as you exhale, toppling tree. Let the heart melt slowly toward earth as the heel lifts. When you can go no further, hands come down to the mat, standing split. Option to play with balance here. You can bind the standing foot with one hand or perhaps both hands. Hands come back down and step back, plank pose. Again, cinch up that imaginary belt, coming back to forearm plank. Keep drawing the navel in, pressing firmly through the elbows, the forearms, the palms. With a big breath, press up plank pose, hold the plank shape, lift the hips, push back, downward dog. Feet together, inhale, left heel to the sky. Let's do the same thing. Other side, knee to nose, pause, and then step it through. Rise up, crescent lunge. Strong and long through the back leg. Big breath, reach tall. Open mouth, exhale. Ha. Inhale, take the hands high and floating forward, warrior 3. Again, level the hips. The work is in leveling the hips. Wing the arms back, interlace the hands behind the low back, lift the heart. And here we go, toppling tree. Let the heart melt slowly toward earth as the right heel lifts. How slow and how low can you go before bringing the hands down? Hands come down eventually. And then option to play with balance here, binding the standing ankle with one or maybe both hands. Exhale, hands come down, and let's step it back. Low lunge, plank pose once again. Cinch up the waist all the way around, and then come down to the forearms for forearm plank. Your TVA is happy. It's like, yes, finally somebody is paying attention to me. Such an important muscle, and we never hear about it, right? Draw the navel in firmly, keep the plank shape, press up, plank pose. Now, strong in the core, lower halfway, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, lift the heart, Shoulders draw back. Exhale, lift the hips. Push back, downward dog. Beautiful work. Exhale, come down to your knees. Sit back to your heels. Let's take child's pose for just a moment. Rest your forehead softly on the mat. Come back to your breath. And settle. Ground. And sit back to your heels. Sweep your legs around front. We're going to work with a really powerful exercise called set point exercise. And it helps us to feel the TVA at work and to familiarize ourselves with the difference between the TVA and the rectus abdominis. So come to your back. Bend your knees. So knees are stacked right over the hips, and there's a right angle here between the thighs and the shins. Flex your feet with the shoulders and the head resting softly on the ground. From here, just begin to push the heels straight out. Now, you're going to feel a tensing, a drawing in of the waist. That's your TVA activating, right? As you push the heels out slowly, further, it becomes intensified. You feel it more and more. We're not even really drawing the navel in, maybe a little bit, but you're just feeling what's happening here. Now, at some point, as you continue to extend the legs, you may feel it dumping into the low back. You may feel it dumping into the thighs. At that point, back off just a little bit and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come back over the hips. So that was your set point. The point where you feel the TVA starting to give out and other muscles coming in to recruit. Okay, let's try it again. Knees over the hips. Begin to push the heels slowly out, drawing the navel in gently, but just feeling the action here, cinching up that invisible belt around the waist. And now, at some point, maybe you're feeling the TVA giving out, and the lower back and the hips and everything else is coming in. Stay or back off just a little bit. So it's mostly the TVA, and just be with it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, draw knees over the hips once more. So your low back is firmly, solidly on the ground this whole time. Let's try it one more time. Extend the heels outward slowly with control. No rush here. Feeling the TVA engage, feeling that waistband tighten and draw in. Now maybe it's going elsewhere, into the back, into the hips. We back off and we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees in. Begin to rock and roll up and down, coming to a seat. Okay, our next little adventure in exploring the transverse abdominis, the TVA, are something called L-sits. And L-sits are perhaps the most powerful exercise to strengthen and to develop the TVA. So we're going to need blocks for this. Grab a couple blocks. Place your blocks on either sides of the hips. Stacking the wrists underneath the shoulders. Press, lift the hips. And then we're going to draw the hips and the heels straight back. The action is straight back. Keep on going until you can go no further. Then when the motion stops, keep drawing the hips and the heels back, drawing the navel in, pressing like crazy into the blocks for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly lower. Okay, you feel it? You feel the drawing in? That's the TVA at work. All right, again. So the heels are on the ground for this exercise. All right, let's try it again. Wrists under shoulders, press, lift the hips, draw the hips and heels back, back, back. When the motion stops, you don't. You keep drawing back, pushing into earth, drawing the navel in, for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly lower. A lot happening there, right? These are very different from crunches. We're not compressing the abs. We're cinching in, we're drawing in, and it's the TVA that's working. Okay, this last one, option to take it up into an L sit. So we're gonna go through those same motions, but option to float the feet off the ground and point the toes at the very end of that range of motion. Okay, here we go. Press, lift the hips, draw the hips and heels back, keep drawing back, back, back. When you can go no further, float the toes. Pushing, breathing, and feeling. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly lower. Nice job. So if the heels don't lift right away, no problem. Okay, it's the drawing back and in that is the work there. Over time, as the TVA gets stronger, heels will lift, and a lot of things will lift in your practice. You'll feel light and floaty. Okay, one more little adventure here, and now we're going to work into the hips. So hip flexor triangles. Hip flexor is a really important part of overall core strength. Hip flexor triangles are a great way to develop hip flexor strength. So we're going to float the right heel, take the right foot all the way out to a point of the triangle, pause, and then take the heel up to the top of a triangle, pause, and then come down and floating the heel. That's one. What we're not doing, we're not making circles. We're making a very definite shape here, okay? Out to the point of a triangle, pause, up to the top, and heel hovers for 1. Out, up, and hover. We're just going to do 5. Out, up, as high as you can with control. Come down slowly. 3, 2 more. You got this. Take it up. And hover for 4. Lift the heart nice and tall through the spine. Foot up to the sky. And then float it down. Let's do the other side. Okay. Float the left heel out to the side and pause. Take it all the way up to the top. Floating and hovering, but not touching. For 1. Out. Up. And pause for 2. Nice and tall through your heart. Out. Up. For 3. We got 2 more. I know you got it in you. All the way up to the top. Hover. Last one. You got this. Out. All the way up to the top. Take the heel all the way down. All right. Shake it out. Shake everything out. Feeling good. All right, let's stretch and cool down. Bring the sole of the left foot inside the right thigh. Flex and extend the right foot, the leg. Reach tall, root through the sit bones as you exhale. Nice and slow fold. Get long through the spine. Reach your heart forward. Melt your heart down. Take your time in the fold, no rush. And pay attention to each breath. If you notice your mind a little squirrely, maybe judging your performance from the class, just notice and gently come back to the breath, and to the experience as it is. Inhale, rise up. Bring the left hand to the mat behind you. Press and lift your hips. Take your right fingertips up and over. Big stretch from fingertips to toes. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's take the other side. Left leg grows long. Big breath, reach tall. And exhale, fold. Again, nice and slow. I like to take these folds very slowly. Getting lots of length through the low back. Square the chest. Breath by breath, take it down until you find your fullest expression. And then settle, breathe, and relax. Inhale, slowly rise. Right hand to the mat. Lift the hips, left fingertips, carve an arc across the sky. Stargazer pose. Press into the ball of the left foot. Reach the fingertips. And exhale, lower it down. One more fold here, Paschimottanasana. Feet together, flex the feet. Big breath, reach up tall, root through the sit bones, lift through the heart, the crown, and exhale, fold. Now pay attention here to getting long through the low back. Taking it slowly. You want to listen to the body in our folds. Sometimes the mind has a certain expectation and we force the body into something perhaps that we're not ready for. Inhale, slowly rise. Reach your hands forward and slow your descent all the way down to your back, nice and gently. Shoulders meet the mat. Draw both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Take the feet up to the sky. Happy baby. A little gentle rock side to side. Close your eyes and feel a sense of connection with your body, with your breath, with this new interesting muscle called the TVA, the transverse abdominis, your foundation of all the floaty, light, fun explorations to come. Exhale, release into shavasana. So give yourself this gift of shavasana. Just be for a few moments. Let yourself rest. Let the mind and the body rest. Slowly bring movement to the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. As you inhale, big breath, reach from fingertips to toes, lengthen, feel the senses waking up to something new, something bigger. Draw both knees into your chest and gently roll to your right side. And slowly push yourself up to a seat. top of your mat. And bring your eyes to close, palms to heart center. And thank you for coming along on this sweet little journey of core anatomy and strength. It's been fun. And I hope we have the opportunity to practice again together soon. Let's close our practice with one sweet Om. Big breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles to the point between your brow. The seat of your inner light, your inner guide. The teacher, the light and the love within me, sees and honors the teacher, the light and the love within each one of you, beautiful beings. Namaste.